To God be the glory and God bless everyone. What's up? If you'd like to know more about my book, The 5 Keys of Power, guys, once again, available siya sa ebook ng amazons.com or yung Kindle Unlimited or paperback. Kung gusto niyo po talagang mas maging memorable, paperback na po bilhin niyo. Ang ganda po talaga nito, guys. Ayan. Hello mga friends! Dahil tag-ulan ngayon, andito tayo sa bahay, so magbabasa tayo ng libro. Itong libro pala na to ay personally written by myself. So, sobrang daming magagandang parts nito, guys. So uplifting, so motivational and awakening po ito. The 5 Keys of Power. At meron tong 5 chapter, tsaka yung closing chapter. And nilagay ko na lahat, guys, ng natutunan ko sa buhay dito. Maging po yung mga history, mga great men, mga patutuo nila, testimony nandito rin. At saka lahat ng mga rema words ni Lord sa akin, sa faith ko sa buhay, nandito na rin, guys. Kung gusto nyo pong ma-avail, nandun na po to sa amazon.com. Meron po tong paperback. Medyo may kamahalan siya kasi ang mahal ng shipping fee. Galing sa USA kasi ipiprint, tas ipapadala sa atin. Yung shipping fee talaga yung nagpamahal doon. Pero worth it na worth it yung pera nyo. So, nasa inyo na yun, guys. Pwedeng pang power natin yan, no? Tapos, Christian book po siya. Motivational Christian book po siya. Self-help na talagang hindi lang siya sinulat ng walang puso at damdamin. Sinulat ko na lahat ng aking mga natutunan sa buhay dito, guys. So, marami din akong mga other books, mga simple books na pwede nyo lang hanapin. Pag sinearch nyo yung name ko, Rolando Morales Jr. sa amazon.com, magsishow na doon yung mga books ko, pati mga songs ko. So, yun, pwede nyong mahanap doon, no? And yun, di ko na papatagalin. Meron ditong part sa book na to na it's actually my personal testimony from childhood hanggang sa nagets ko na yung buhay. Ang title po nito ay My Own Battle. Under po siya ng chapter 4 na Persistency. So, sabi dito, I can see myself clearly in this topic of persistency because personally, I am a person who usually doubt my own capability ever since I was a child. True. I always felt that there was something inside me that I could not fully explain. It felt like there was a gift, a skill, a calling, or perhaps a natural inclination that I could sense, but I could not clearly identify. Looking back now, I believe many people experience the same thing deep within them. They feel there is something more they were meant to do. Something more they were meant to become, yet they cannot quite put it into words. The difference is that some people continue searching for it while others eventually ignore it. And I am grateful that despite all my doubts and confusion, I never completely stopped. Totoo. As a child, I had a habit of thinking about things that seems unusual for someone my age. While other children were often focused entirely on games, toys, and simple childhood concern, my mind would sometimes wander towards subject that seems more appropriate for adults. I find myself thinking about responsibility, purpose, the future, life, death, success, failure, and many other things that I could not fully understand at that age. I did not know why my mind worked that way. I did not know where those thoughts were coming from. I simply knew they were there. Totoo yan, guys. Whenever older relatives visited our house and spent time talking with me, they would occasionally ask why I thought that way as a child. Some of them would laugh and tell me that I talked like an adult man trapped inside a child's body. Others would ask why I always worrying things that most children never even considered. To be honest, whenever they asked me those questions, I could never give a proper answer. I would simply smile, laugh, and move on because I did not know the answer myself. Looking back now, it feels as though my mind was taking journeys into places that my age has not fully yet reached. My body was still young, but my thoughts were already exploring roads far ahead of me. For many years, I did not understand what to do with those thoughts. They simply existed inside my mind. They would come and go. Sometimes they would keep me awake. Sometimes they would inspire me. Sometimes they would confuse me. Yet over time, I began to realize that perhaps those thoughts were not meant to remain trapped inside my head forever. Perhaps they were meant to be expressed. Perhaps they were meant to be shared. That realization led me toward writing. At first, I began writing simple essays. Whenever a thought captured my attention, I would write it down. Whenever I learned something meaningful, I would try to put it into words. I discovered that writing helped me understand my own thoughts better. It was though ideas that seemed scattered inside my mind suddenly became clearer once they appeared on paper. Writing gave structure to things I had previously struggled to explain. Eventually, essays were no longer enough, so I started writing poems. Poetry allowed me to express emotions and ideas in ways that ordinary writing could not. Through poetry, I discovered that words possess a certain power. A few carefully chosen lines could communicate feeling that entire conversations sometimes fail to express. The more I wrote, the more I enjoyed the process. The poems were no longer enough, so I started writing songs. Most of the songs I wrote were Christian songs because faith has always been an important part of my life. Kung gusto nyo makita yung mga songs guys, nasa Spotify din siya. Landers Jr. po yung name ko tan. Music became another outlet through which I could express the thoughts, questions, beliefs, and conviction that were growing inside me. There is something remarkable about music. A message that might take several pages to explain can sometimes be communicated through a single song. The combination of melody and meaning creates a unique connection with people. I enjoy that process deeply. Yet, even songs were not enough. It felt as though something inside me kept pushing me further. Every time I completed one thing, another challenge appeared. Every time I reached a destination, another road seems to open before me, and it was as though my mind was continually saying, there is more. Eventually, that led me toward books. Kaya na may books na tayo, guys. Sabi dito, to be honest, the idea of writing books once seems impossible to me. Writing a book is very different from writing an essay. A poem or a song, a book requires commitment. A book requires structure. A book requires patience. A book demands that you remain faithful to the idea for an extended period of time. Yet despite all those challenges, I felt an increasing desire to write. Not merely to write for myself, but to write things that might help others. Thoughts that might encourage someone, lessons that might guide someone, insight that might inspire someone to pursue a better life. So I began writing books. Today I have written multiple self-help books, and what amazes me is not simply the fact that I wrote them. What amazes me is that I pursued them despite the internal battles that accompanied every steps of the journey. Yun, so hanggang dyan na lang muna tayo kasi mahaba-haba pa tong part ng my own battle. Yan wala pa akong kalahati. If you'd like to know more about my book, The 5 Keys of Power, guys, once again, available siya sa ebook ng amazons.com or yung Kindle Unlimited or paperback. Kung gusto nyo po talagang mas maging memorable, paperback na po bilhin nyo. Ang ganda po talaga nito, guys. So, yun lang. To God be the glory and God bless everyone. What's up?